We're already a mile offshore with the glider and we've only lost about less than 1,000 feet. So, yeah, we need to crack on.
Yeah.
This is the fastest boat in Ilfracombe.
James Daniel May, born the 16th of January 1963, is an English television presenter and journalist. He is best known as a co-presenter of the motoring program Top Gear alongside Jeremy Clarkson and Richard Hammond from 2003 until 2015. He also served as a director of the production company W. Chump Sons, which has since ceased operating. He is a co-presenter of the television series The Grand Tour for Amazon Prime Video, alongside his former Top Gear colleagues, Clarkson and Hammond, as well as Top Gear's former executive producer Andy Willman. May has presented other programs on themes including science and technology, toys, wine culture, and the plight of manliness in modern times. He wrote a weekly column for the Daily Telegraph's motoring section from 2003 to 2011. Early life. James Daniel May was born in Bristol, the son of aluminium factory manager James May and his wife Kathleen. He was one of 4 children. He has 2 sisters and a brother. May attended Caerleon Endowed Junior School in Newport. He spent his teenage years in South Yorkshire where he attended Oakwood Comprehensive School in Rotherham and was a choir boy at Wiston Parish Church. May studied music at Pendle College, Lancaster University, where he learned to play the flute and piano, and also spent a year studying metalwork at a technical college. After graduating, May briefly worked at a hospital in Chelsea as a records officer and had a short stint in the civil service before taking up journalism and broadcasting in his 30s. He also held a part-time job as a molder at the foundry his father was employed at and suggested in a 2017 interview with The Times that this formed his interest in mechanics. During the early 1980s, May worked as a sub-editor for the Engineer and later Autocar magazine, from which he was dismissed for performing a prank. He has since written for several publications, including the regular column England Made Me in Car magazine, articles for Top Gear magazine, and a weekly column in the Daily Telegraph. He has written the book May on Motors, 2006, which is a collection of his published articles, and co-authored Oz and Jamis' Big Wine Adventure, based on the TV series of the same name. He wrote the afterword to Long Lane with Turnings, published in September 2006, the final book by motoring writer L.J.K. Setright. In the same month, he co-presented a tribute to Raymond Baxter. Notes from the Hard Shoulder and James May's 20th Century, a book to accompany the television series of the same name, were published in 2007. Television career. His past television credits include presenting Driven on Channel 4 in 1998, narrating an 8-part BBC One series called Road Rage School, and co-hosting the ITV1 coverage of the 2006 London Boat Show. He also wrote and presented a Christmas special called James May's Top Toys, for BBC One. James May. My Sister's Top Toys attempted to investigate the gender divide of toy appeal. In Series 3, Episode 3 of Gordon Ramsay's The F Word, May managed to beat Ramsay in eating bull penis and rotten shark and with his fish pie recipe. Top Gear. May was briefly a co-presenter of the original Top Gear series in 1999. During an interview in 2020, Jeremy Clarkson claimed that the show's original producers had decided to replace him with May in 1999, though they felt dissatisfied with May as he was soon fired in 2000, shortly before the entire program was cancelled the following year. Clarkson recalls May's firing in 2000 caused him to retreat into alcoholism for a brief period of time. Following the first season of the show's relaunch in 2002, Clarkson managed to convince Andrew Willman to rehire him to replace Jason Dawe. He first co-presented the revived series of Top Gear in its second series in 2003, where he earned the nickname Captain Slow owing to his careful driving style. Despite this sobriquet, he has done some especially high-speed driving. In the 2007 series he took a Bugatti Veyron to its top speed of 253 miles per hour, 407 kilometers per hour. Then in 2010 he achieved 259.11 miles per hour, 417 kilometers per hour, in the Veyron's newer 16.4 Super Sport Edition. In an earlier episode he also tested the original version of the Bugatti Veyron against the Pagani Zonda F. May, along with co-presenter Jeremy Clarkson and an Icelandic support crew, traveled by car to the magnetic North Pole in 2007, using a modified Toyota Helix. In the words of Clarkson, he was the first person to go there who didn't want to be there. Following the BBC's decision not to renew Jeremy Clarkson's contract with the show on the 25th of March 2015, May stated in April 2015 that he would not continue to present Top Gear as part of a new lineup of presenters. Science. May presented Inside Killer Sharks, a documentary for Sky, and James May's 20th Century, Investigating Inventions. He flew in a Royal Air Force Eurofighter Typhoon at a speed of around 1,320 miles per hour, 2,124 kilometers per hour, for his television program, James May's 20th Century. In late 2008, the BBC broadcast James May's Big Ideas, a three-part series in which May traveled around the globe in search of implementations for concepts widely considered science fiction. He has also presented a series called James May's Man Lab. In 2013, May narrated To Spaceback, a documentary on the influence of developments in space exploration on modern technology produced by Skyscan and the Franklin Institute. James May on the Moon. James May on the Moon, BBC 2, 2009, commemorated 40 years since man first landed on the Moon. This was followed by another documentary on BBC 4 called James May at the Edge of Space, where May was flown to the stratosphere, 70,000 feet, in a U.S. Air Force Lockheed U-2 spy plane. Highlights of the footage from the training for the flight, and the flight itself was used in James May on the Moon, but was shown fully in this program. This made him one of the highest flying people, along with the pilot, at that time, after the crew of the International Space Station. James May's Toy Stories. Beginning in October 2009, May presented a six-part TV series showing favorite toys of the past era and whether they can be applied in the modern day. The toys featured were Airfix, Plasticine, Meccano, Scalextric, Lego and Hornby. In each show, May attempts to take each toy to its limits, also fulfilling several of his boyhood dreams in the process. In August 2009, May built a full-sized house out of Lego at Denby's Wine Estate in Surrey. Plans for Legoland to move it to their theme park fell through in September 2009 because costs to deconstruct, move and then rebuild were too high, and despite a final Facebook appeal for someone to take it, it was demolished on the 22nd of September, with the plastic bricks planned to be donated to charity. Also for the series, he recreated the bank track at Brooklands using Scalextric track, and an attempt at the world's longest working model railway along the Tarka Trail between Barnstaple and Bideford in North Devon, although the attempt was foiled due to parts of the track being stolen and vandals placing coins on the track, causing a short circuit. Later, in 2011, May tried for the record again, proposing a race between German model railroad enthusiasts and their British counterparts. The two teams would start at opposite ends along double-tracked mainline. This time, the effort succeeded with both teams successfully running 3 trains the entire route. In December 2012 aired a special Christmas episode called Flight Club, where James and his team built a huge toy glider that flew 22 miles, 35 kilometers, from Devon to the island of Lundy. In 2013, May created a life-size, fully functional motorcycle and sidecar made entirely out of the construction toy Meccano. Joined by Oz Clarke, he then completed a full lap of the Isle of Man TT course. Oz and James. In late 2006, the BBC broadcast Oz and James' Big Wine Adventure, a series in which May, a committed bitter drinker, traveled around France with wine expert Oz Clarke. A second series was broadcast in late 2007, this time with May and Clarke in the Californian wine country, and was followed by a third series in 2009 called Oz and James Drink to Britain. James May. Our Man in. In January 2020, May hosted a travel documentary named James May, Our Man in Japan. The 6-episode series was released on Amazon Prime Video and follows May's journey from the north end of Japan to its south. Over the course of 3 months, May explores and participates in many activities to truly understand the country, which has intrigued him for a long time. During the trip through major cities like Tokyo and Kyoto, he is accompanied by a cast of different guides and translators. Personal life. May lives in Hammersmith, West London, with art critic Sarah Frater, with whom he has been in a relationship since 2000. In July 2010, May was awarded an honorary doctorate by Lancaster University, where he had previously studied music. He holds a Doctor of Letters degree. In August 2014, May was one of 200 public figures who were signatories to a letter to The Guardian expressing their hope that Scotland would vote against independence from the United Kingdom in September's referendum on that issue. In June 2016, he supported Remain in the EU referendum. May has described his political leanings as liberal. In 2020, May bought half the ownership of a pub in Swallowcliffe, Wiltshire called the Royal Oak, which dates from the early 18th century and is a Grade II listed historic site. According to Celebrity Net Worth, James May's net worth is $25 million. James May also owns a brown brick mansion in West London worth up to £2 million. Vehicles. May has owned many cars including a 2005 Saab 9-5 Aero, Bentley T2, Rolls-Royce Phantom, Triumph 2000, Rover P6, Alfa Romeo 164, 1971 Rolls-Royce Corniche, Triumph Vitesse, Jaguar XJS, 1992 Range Rover Classic Vogue, Fiat Panda, Datsun 120Y, Vauxhall Cavalier Mk1, a Ferrari 308 GTB, a 2015 Toyota Mirai, Ferrari F430, Ferrari 458 Italia, 1984 Porsche 911, 2005 Porsche Boxster S, which he claims is the first car he has ever purchased new. May currently owns a 2010 Porsche 911 Carrera S facelift, a 2016 BMW i3, a 2018 Alpine A110, a 2019 Tesla Model S100D, a 2021 Toyota Mirai, a 2015 Ferrari 458 Speciale which he ordered following his exit from Top Gear, and the VW Beach Buggy used in the Grand Tour Special The Beach Buggy Boys. He often uses a Brompton folding bicycle for commuting. He passed his driving test on his second attempt and justified this by saying all the best people pass the second time. May obtained a light aircraft pilot's license in October 2006, having trained at White Waltham Airfield. He has owned a Luscombe 8A Silvair, a Cessna A185E Skywagon, and an American Champion 8 KCAB Super Decathlon with registration GOCOK, which serves as a reference to a common phrase attributed to him.